1 hour a day can change your life. Not someday, not eventually, but starting now, if you use it right. That's not just a statement. It's a challenge to how you've been living. Every day, you're given time. Yet most people scroll, complain, wait, or repeat the same routine, expecting things to change. But here's the truth. If you dedicate just one focused hour every day to yourself, everything begins to shift. Not because the hour is magical, but because you become intentional. This isn't about hype. It's about building something real. You'll learn how to turn 1 hour into discipline, clarity, progress, and lasting confidence. How long have you been stuck? Talking about change? It doesn't take all day. It takes 1 hour, over and over again. That's how real transformation begins. It's not about doing everything at once. It's about doing the right things for the right amount of time, every single day. Many fail, not because they lack talent, but because they never learn how to use their time to build themselves. 1 hour is only 4% of your day. Yet most spend hours scrolling or waiting, but won't give even 1 hour to themselves. That hour tells a big story about what you believe you're worth. Change doesn't require luck or perfect timing. It requires discipline and a decision. Use that hour to build, study, reflect, train, and grow, and you won't recognize yourself in a few months. You don't need anything crazy. Just a chair, a notebook, a quiet space. Discipline, consistency, and honesty. 1 hour a day is enough to change the way you think. Because weak thoughts lead to weak actions. But sharp thinking makes your life shift. You start asking better questions. Stop wasting energy on what doesn't matter. Stop being reactive. Start being intentional. You already have the time. You just need to claim it. Busy? Busy with what? You can't be too busy to become better. Make it non-negotiable. 9:04. Don't explain it to people. Don't wait for them to understand. This is your 9:09. Life. This is your hour. And it's time you give yourself what you actually deserve. Because if you can give just 9:17, 1 hour a day, truly give it, you'll start to feel something you haven't felt. 9:24. In a long time, you'll feel momentum. And momentum is what builds confidence. 9:31. Confidence builds courage. And courage changes lives. 9:37. Not someday, not next year, today. 1 hour a day can change your life, but 9:45. Only if you're ready to finally choose yourself. Chapter 2. Get out of bed and take. 9:53. Back your day. Most people don't realize how much of their life they're giving away the 9:59 moment they hit the snooze button. Not just minutes, not just time. There. 10:05. Giving away ownership. When you don't get out of bed with purpose, something else starts running. 10:11. Your day. Your habits, your mood, your distractions, your excuses. 10:17. And if that continues long enough, you stop feeling like you're in control of anything. That's why getting out of bed. 10:24. Early and on your own terms matters more than people think. It's not just about 10:29. Waking up. It's about waking up to your life. Every day you stay in bed longer. 10:35. Than you planned. Is another day you've delayed your own progress. Not because you're weak, not because you're lazy. 10:43. But because you haven't made the decision to lead your day. You're letting the day lead you. And when the 10:49 day leads you, it takes you where it wants, not where you want to go. You. 10:55. See, getting out of bed early isn't just about time management. It's about life management. The first decision you make. 11:02. In the morning sets the tone for every other decision that follows. If your first move is hesitation, your next move. 11:10. Will be scattered. If your first move is doubt, your next move will lack confidence. But if your first move is 11:18. Action, your day begins with power. In control of yourself, everything else in life feels more possible. You stop letting your emotions run the show. You stop being a slave to your old patterns. You start making decisions based on who you want to become, not what you feel in the moment. Most people say they want to change their life. But change doesn't start at the gym. It doesn't start in the office. It doesn't even start with a book. It starts when your alarm goes off and you make the choice to rise. That's where real discipline begins. Not in some big dramatic moment, but in the silence of your own room. When you choose action over comfort, you don't have to be excited about waking up. You just have to be willing. You have to stop waiting to feel ready. That's the biggest mistake people make. They think they need to feel good before they take action. But if you wait to feel like it, you'll wait forever. Progress starts when you move first. And when you keep doing that day after day, those early hours will turn into something powerful. They'll become your edge. Now, the people who get ahead in life are not always the smartest or the most talented, but they are the most consistent. They're the ones who show up before the world is awake. They're the ones who don't waste their mornings arguing with the alarm clock because they know that first hour is the most honest part of the day. No distractions, no noise, just you and your choices. And those choices stack up. One early morning becomes two. Two becomes a week. A week becomes a month. And before you know it, you've built something most people never will. Momentum. That's what gives you confidence. That's what separates talkers from doers. Anyone can talk about getting their life together. Anyone can say, starting tomorrow. But only a few actually stand up day after day and do what they said they would. That you've got to decide what kind of person you want to be. Do you want to be the kind of person who lives on snooze? Who watches life pass by from the comfort of a pillow? Or do you want to be someone who takes ownership, who says, this is my time, and I'm not wasting it because no one's going to give you the life you want? You have to take it, and it starts with how you begin your day. There's something powerful about being up while the world is quiet. There's no pressure, no noise, no distractions. It's just you, your thoughts, and a fresh chance to move your life forward. Most people miss that chance because they never see it. They sleep through it. They think they'll get it later. But later turns into never when you make a habit to wait. The person you want to become is waiting for you on the other side of discipline. And discipline starts in the morning. Not when it's easy, not when it's convenient, but when it's dark, when it's cold, when your bed feels better than your goals. That's the moment that shapes your future. And you'll never know what you're truly capable of until you stop giving into the voice that says, 5 more minutes. Every time you ignore that voice, you build strength. Every time you rise when it's easier to stay down, you build identity. You become someone you respect. That's real confidence. It doesn't come from applause. It doesn't come from other people believing in you. It comes from proving to yourself that you're in control of your actions. Now, let's be honest. This isn't about becoming some machine who wakes up at 4 a.m. every single day. This isn't about showing off or being perfect. This is about reclaiming your time. You don't need to be extreme. You just need to be consistent. Wake up early enough to work on something that matters to you. Not what the world demands, not what your phone throws at you, but what your future self will thank you for. If you've been feeling stuck, this is where you start. Not with a perfect plan, not with a long list. Just get up. Take back your time. Use your morning to get clear, to move your body, to think, to write, to build, to breathe. That 1 hour of ownership makes the next 23 easier to handle. Because when you begin your day with power, you carry that power with you. But if you begin with delay, with distraction, with self-doubt, that energy follows you too. Your mindset in the first hour leaks into everything. That's why you have to protect it. Don't wake up to chaos. Don't wake up to your inbox. Wake up with direction. Wake up with a reason. The truth is your bed will always feel better in the moment. But that version of comfort comes with a cost. It costs you your goals. It costs you your edge. It costs you the version of yourself you say you want to be. And over time, that cost adds up. It adds up in missed opportunities, in wasted potential, in frustration. You start asking questions like, why isn't anything working? When the real answer is that you've been giving away your day before it even starts. That's the brutal truth most people don't want to face. But if you're willing to face it, if you're willing to change it, then everything can shift. You don't need a miracle. You need movement. And that movement begins the moment your feet hit the floor. That's the first victory of the day. And if you can win that one, you're already ahead. So from now on, take that decision seriously. Because it's not just about waking up. It's about showing up. It's about doing what matters before the world gets a chance to distract you. And when you do that, day after day, you become unstoppable. Take back your mornings. Take back your focus. Take back your day. Because the moment you get out of bed with purpose, the world starts moving differently around you. And more importantly, you start moving differently within yourself. Chapter 3. Put your attention where your future actually grows. Every person wants a better future, but most never get there. Not because they don't try, but because they spend too much time focusing on the wrong things. Your life always moves in the direction of your attention. If your attention is scattered, your life will be scattered. If your attention is placed on things that don't really matter, you'll spend your energy chasing short-term comfort, while your long-term goals fall behind. This is the reality most people avoid. The life you're building is directly shaped by what you choose to focus on every single day. It's easy to say you want success. It's easy to say you want growth, but it's not about what you say. It's about where your attention goes when no one's watching. Because if you're giving your attention to drama, to other people's opinions, to things that keep you stuck in comparison and insecurity, you're feeding the wrong side of your future. You have to understand your attention is your power. Wherever it goes, your energy follows. And wherever your energy goes, your results begin to form. Every day you get to choose what to think about, what to work on, what to pursue. If you constantly let your mind get pulled into distractions, you'll spend your life reacting instead of creating. And the danger is most distractions don't even look like distractions at first. They look like notifications, entertainment, small tasks, other people's problems. But little by little, they steal your attention from what actually builds you. You have to become aware of this, because no one is going to protect your attention for you. The world doesn't care if you waste your focus. In fact, it profits from your distraction. But your future only grows when you place your attention on things that move you forward. That means you have to train your mind to resist what's easy and choose what matters. Not once in a while. Every day. Ask yourself, what are you really giving your attention to? Are you spending hours thinking about what went wrong? Are you constantly checking who liked your post? Are you letting fear take up space in your mind? Because attention is limited. You don't get it back. And if you're not careful, your time and attention will be spent without ever getting you closer to the life you say you want. If you want to grow, you have to decide what actually moves you forward. What skills are worth your time? What goals deserve your full focus? What part of your life needs to be built, not just maintained? When you get clear on that, everything changes because now your attention is no longer just being used, it's being invested. And investments build something. They don't just pass the time, they shape the future. There's a major difference between being busy and being focused. Being busy can make you feel like you're doing something, but being focused actually moves the needle. And it's uncomfortable because real focus demands effort. It demands that you sit down, say no to distractions, and give your full mind to one task. Most people avoid that level of clarity, not because they're lazy, but because it forces them to face what they've been running from. The moment you put your attention on what matters, you can't hide behind excuses anymore. You'll start to see where you've been wasting time. You'll see the gaps in your habits. You'll notice the difference between activity and progress. That's uncomfortable, but it's also the beginning of transformation. You don't need more time. You need better focus. If you truly locked in on one goal for even one focused hour a day for the next year, you would be unrecognizable 12 months from now. But the problem is we live in a world that wants your attention every second. Scroll here, click there, answer this, react to that. And if you don't take control, your focus will be pulled in 50 different directions, none of them leading to the life you're trying to build. It's not about working harder all the time. It's about making sure the work you do actually counts. You could spend 5 hours doing 10 small things that don't matter. Or you could spend 1 solid hour doing something that makes your life better. That's the difference between movement and progress. And that difference comes from attention. Train yourself to notice when you're drifting. When your mind starts wandering to things that drain you, bring it back. You're not a robot. You have control over your focus. And the more you practice this, the stronger your attention becomes, like a muscle. At first, it's difficult to stay locked in, but over time, you'll be able to work deeper, think clearer, and move faster toward the life you want. Start by deciding where your attention needs to be. Maybe it's a project you've been avoiding. Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's learning something new. Maybe it's fixing something that's been broken for too long. Whatever it is, commit to giving it your attention every single day. Not your leftover time, not what's convenient, your best energy. Because what you feed grows. You also need to protect your mind from information overload. You don't need to know everything that's happening in the world every second. You don't need to watch every video, read every comment, or get caught up in every headline. That constant flood of noise steals your clarity. And without clarity, your attention becomes weak and scattered. Be selective about what enters your mind. You are not obligated to consume everything that's offered to you. Choose what helps you think better, not what helps you waste more time. And remember, your attention shapes your identity. The more time you spend focused on growth, on effort, on progress, the more you start seeing yourself as someone capable, someone in control, someone who isn't easily thrown off by every little thing. But if your attention is always bouncing around, always chasing the next distraction, you'll feel anxious, restless, and unfulfilled. Not because something's wrong with you, but because your energy is being spent without intention. This shift in focus doesn't happen by accident. It happens through daily discipline. Wake up and decide what gets your attention before the world decides for you. Set boundaries. Turn off what doesn't serve you. Say no to what pulls you off course. Not because you're being rude, because you're building something. Because you respect your future enough to give it your full presence today. There's a reason the most successful people guard their attention like it's gold. Because it is. They don't let everyone have access to their mind. They don't react to every notification. They don't spend hours explaining themselves to people who don't matter. They focus. They protect their time. They stay grounded in what moves them forward. You can do the same, but you have to stop trying to do everything at once. You have to stop thinking you can multitask your way to success. You can't. What you need is depth. And depth only comes when you give one thing your full attention. That's how mastery is built. That's how confidence is earned. That's how change happens. So look at your life, honestly. Where's your attention going right now? Who or what is getting most of your mental energy? Is it helping you grow or just keeping you busy? Are you focused on problems or solutions? Are you building your future or avoiding it? You don't have to do everything today, but you do have to focus on something that matters. Even if it's just for 1 hour, put your attention there where your future actually grows and do it again tomorrow and the day after that. Because if you keep doing that, you won't need to chase success. You'll become the kind of person who naturally attracts it through discipline, through clarity, and through the daily decision to focus on what matters. Chapter 4. Build something meaningful with your own time today. Every day, you wake up with time in your hands. And whether you realize it or not, that time is either used to build or to waste. Most people go through their day reacting to everything around them. They check their phone, scroll through what others are doing, run from one task to the next, and by the time the day ends, they've poured hours into things that meant nothing to them. And then they wonder why life feels empty, why they feel stuck, why they don't feel proud of anything. It's because nothing they did that day was meaningful. You have time, maybe not endless time, maybe not perfectly planned time, but you have time. And inside that time, you have a choice. You can spend it doing the same thing you did yesterday, or you can use it to create something that actually matters to you. That's what separates people who move forward from people who stay stuck. It's not luck. It's not opportunity. It's how they use their time, especially the time no one sees. Most people say they're too busy, but what they really mean is they haven't made what matters a priority. You'll always find time for what's important. The question is your growth important enough to make the list? Is your purpose important enough to sit down, focus, and start building? The truth is, building something meaningful takes effort. It takes focus. It takes deciding that even if no one notices, even if there's no applause, even if it's uncomfortable, you're going to do it anyway because it matters to you. That's what gives your life meaning. Not just going through routines, not just checking off to-do lists, but building something with intention, something you can look back on tomorrow and feel proud of. You don't need a perfect plan to start. You don't need to wait for the right mood. What you need is to sit down and use what you have. Your mind, your time, your energy, your vision. Maybe it's writing a page in a book. Maybe it's recording your ideas. Maybe it's designing something. Maybe it's building your health. Maybe it's learning a skill that pushes you closer to your next level. The point isn't what you build. The point is that when you start building something, you begin to feel purpose again. You stop floating. You stop chasing the feeling of motivation and start creating a reason to wake up tomorrow with clarity. Most people don't need a vacation. They need a reason. They need something in their life that reminds them that their time matters. Your time is not just for surviving. It's for building. It's for doing something that outlasts the moment. You don't have to do everything in one day, but you do have to start. You have to give yourself permission to work on your vision, even if it's small, even if it's quiet. Because if you keep waiting for the perfect window, it will never come. Life doesn't slow down so you can catch up. You have to create the space to grow inside the life you already have. There is real strength in showing up for your own goals, especially when no one else understands them. You don't need permission. You don't need applause. You need consistency. You need to remind yourself daily that your time is valuable and what you do with it will shape your future. That's not pressure, that's power. Because it means you don't have to wait on anyone. You can start using today to build something that brings you closer to the life you want. Don't let comparison distract you. Don't let someone else's timeline make you feel behind. You're not late. You're just distracted. And the fastest way back to progress is to sit down and begin again. Begin again with one idea. Begin again with 1 hour. Begin again with a fresh mind. You're not stuck. You're just not building. And once you start, momentum will follow. You don't have to change your life in a day. But every day you can change something. Every day you can decide, today I build. That mindset alone can transform how you live. Instead of waking up wondering how to get through the day, you wake up asking yourself, what can I create with this time? That's how you regain control over your life. That's how you stop feeling like a passenger and start feeling like the one driving. Most people want results, but they don't want the process. And the process is simple. It's showing up and doing the work. Not glamorous, not exciting all the time, but effective. Real growth lives in that space between intention and action, and the bridge is built with your time. Take 1 hour, one focused hour. Block it, guard it. Use it not to scroll, not to kill time. Use it to build. Use it to improve something in your life that you've been neglecting. Because when you build, you create progress. And when you see progress, you feel hope. Not because everything's perfect, but because you're moving forward. That's what building does. It replaces doubt with direction. It replaces excuses with action. It replaces fear with a sense of responsibility. You're not waiting on motivation. You're creating discipline. You're not waiting to feel ready. You're becoming ready through doing. That's a powerful shift. And it starts when you stop wasting your own time, that there's no perfect moment to begin. But every moment you don't begin is another moment lost. That's the cost of delay. And that's why today matters. Not tomorrow, not someday, today. With the time you have, with the mind you have, with the energy you've got left, use it. Build with it. Even if you're tired, even if you're unsure, just begin. Because even small steps build strong foundations when taken consistently. One day you'll look back and realize that the simple decision to give part of your time to something meaningful changed the course of your life. Not because it was easy, not because it was fast, but because it was yours. You built it. You owned it. You committed to it. And nothing will ever replace the feeling of knowing you used your time to become more. Not just to stay busy, but to build. Build your health, build your mind, build your skill, build your peace, build your future. Do it today, because today is the only time you can work with. And if you give it everything you've got, it will return more than you can imagine. You have what it takes. You always have. You just need to stop giving your time to things that don't serve you and start using it to build something that finally does, something that matters, something that lifts you, something that lasts. Give your time a purpose today, and your life will follow. 1 hour a day can change your life. Not someday, not eventually, but starting now, if you use it right. That's not just a statement. It's a challenge to how you've been living. Every day, you're given time. Yet most people scroll, complain, wait, or repeat the same routine, expecting things to change. But here's the truth. If you dedicate just one focused hour every day to yourself, everything begins to shift. Not because the hour is magical, but because you become intentional. This isn't about hype. It's about building something real. You'll learn how to turn 1 hour into discipline, clarity, progress, and lasting confidence. How long have you been stuck? Talking about change? It doesn't take all day. It takes 1 hour, over and over again. That's how real transformation begins. It's not about doing everything at once. It's about doing the right things for the right amount of time, every single day. Many fail, not because they lack talent, but because they never learn how to use their time to build themselves. 1 hour is only 4% of your day. Yet most spend hours scrolling or waiting, but won't give even 1 hour to themselves. That hour tells a big story about what you believe you're worth. Change doesn't require luck or perfect timing. It requires discipline and a decision. Use that hour to build, study, reflect, train, and grow, and you won't recognize yourself in a few months. You don't need anything crazy. Just a chair, a notebook, a quiet space. Discipline, consistency, and honesty. 1 hour a day is enough to change the way you think. Because weak thoughts lead to weak actions. But sharp thinking makes your life shift. You start asking better questions. Stop wasting energy on what doesn't matter. Stop being reactive. Start being intentional. You already have the time. You just need to claim it. Busy? Busy with what? You can't be too busy to become better.